Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live trading workshop. It is October 22nd, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The markets or the cash markets have just opened, and what better time to do some live trading, which to us at least, it's always the most fun webinars to have because that's really where the rubber hits the road, where we can, use our indicators to trade real money accounts, our real account, to see if we can find some interesting setups. But before we get into all of this, let me ask you guys, where are you calling in from? Who do we have in the room today? And I can see we have a really full house, so that's really encouraging. So who do we have? Guys, please share your location with me. I'm calling in from Montreal, from Canada, where we are headquartered, the headquarter of tradingindicators.com. So who do we have in the room? Sven from Ellwangen. Hey Sven, wie geht's? How are you? Who else do we have? So we have Germany, Ellwangen. I'm not sure where that is. That sounds like a South German place. Who else do we have? Don't be shy. Please put your location into the Q&A box. We have someone from LA. Hey, that's the opposite end of the world. Welcome. Clearwater, Florida from Van. Hey, Van, how's it going? Paula from New Jersey. Hey, Paula, how are you? Devendra from Princeton, New Jersey. So 2 times New Jersey. Oh, and Sven is clarifying. That's near Arlen. Because now the question is, where exactly is Arlen? I'm not so sure. Mark from Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, Mark, how's it going? John from Brisbane. Oh, that's far away. What time is it over there, John? It must be quite late for you, I believe. It must be after midnight. I just actually had a meeting with someone from Melbourne right before this, and it was, I think, at 10:30 p.m. for him. That was a couple of hours back. Art from Sarasota. Hey, Art, how's it going? Noel from Toronto. Hey, Noel, how are you? Momat from Malaysia. That's awesome. I think you're the first one ever to join from Malaysia. Awesome. Thank you so much. And John is saying it's 11:33 p.m. Yeah, it's late. And Sven says it's near Heidenheim. All right, cool. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing your location. Let's get started. First off, a quick reminder that trading, especially day trading, does contain risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and strategies discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, so with this out of the way, a quick introduction of who we are. We are tradingindicators.com. My name is Daniel. I'm the guy here on the left-hand side, and together with Homa, she's not in the room today, we have created Trading Indicators about 10 years ago. And about halfway through our journey, Niklas has joined us, and Niklas is in the room today as well. He'll be manning the live trading workshop with me today. And what we're going to do today is we will be using our flagship indicators to analyze the markets and to find interesting setups. And if you like the setups, we're going to execute on them. And most of basically everything what we're going to do today is based on what's called technical analysis. I believe especially for day trading, technical analysis is the way to go. Fundamentals are way too broad, way too long-term to take these into account for day trading. So we're going to base ourselves on technical analysis. And truth be told, by focusing on technicals, you will simplify your trading approach by a lot. And we believe that trading should be simple. In fact, trading is simple. But of course, you need to know what to look for, the right technicals, and you need to use the right indicators. And which indicators we use and what we are looking for, we're going to discover together today. And of course, this session is for you guys. If you have questions, don't be shy. Please put your questions into the Q&A box, and we're going to get to those as we proceed through this time. All right. So a couple of ground rules. The focus today will be on day trading, and mainly on day trading futures. However, if you are not a day trader, you can still find value in this session, because the technical analysis that we will be using today and all the strategies and setups, these are universally applicable. They apply as well for swing trading or longer term trades. Right, that's ground rule number one. Ground rule number two is we will be using TradingView today, simply because it's the most popular platform. Chances are everyone in this room has heard of TradingView and probably also used TradingView before. It's just simply the greatest common denominator for us. But if you are a Ninja trader or on Thinkorswim or MotiveWave, the very same setups still apply and can be traded the same way. We're going to take live trades today using our live account. But however, this session is time bound. So we have about 2 hours, give or take. We'll see how it goes. Because of this, because we have this time box, sometimes we will need to force open some trades because we definitely want to trade today. So even if the setup is not perfect, we may be force opening a trade or even close trades prematurely, just because we have this time limit. Just be aware of this. Now, of course, the real question is, will we have all winners today? Well, hopefully, maybe. But of course, there's no guarantee, no strategy which would guarantee in this. If somebody is promising you this strategy is 100% winners, he is lying to you. This is not possible. However, having this said, we will do everything in our power because we're going to use our own money account. Of course, why wouldn't we? Everything in our power to increase our odds. So we're going to use our flagship indicators, which are aware of support and resistance. We're going to indirectly do a multi-time frame analysis. We look at trend and momentum. We'll look at signals, everything to make sure that the odds are stacked in our favor. And of course, we're going to try to avoid major market events. And I'm going to start with this just to see if something is happening today in terms of market events. So let's check out the market calendar on TradingView. So I'm going to switch over to my TradingView here. And if you don't know yet, on TradingView, we have this little calendar icon on the right-hand side. You can click on it, and in there you can see all the market events which are happening today. And it's 9:30 a.m. right now. The next event, actually pretty cool, is at 10:30. It's related to oil and heating oil and all these things. So we're going to keep an eye on this at 10:30. And Niklas, please remind me if 10:30 comes around, so that I should we have an oil trade open or consider an oil trade, maybe we will be a bit more careful around that time. But we can see it's like a medium to low impact event, nonetheless something to be aware of. But besides this, I think it's pretty clear cut. We do have a speech by the European Central Bank at 11 and at 11:30 some auctions, but pretty much all low impact events throughout the day. So that's good. So this should not hold us back today. All right. Now let me I'm going to do a little tiny bit of theory first, and then we're going to get into the live markets, I promise you. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use our three-step approach to find and execute on setups. So what are the three steps? And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, just as a quick reminder. First step, understand the story of the market, meaning how did price end up where it is right now? Which path did it take? Why we are where we are right now? That is very important because once we know the story of the current market, then we can try to predict what may happen in the next chapter of the story. And in fact, trading is about predicting the future to some degree. So we're going to use our current understanding of what's going on in the market to predict what may be happening next. So we have like a price direction in mind, for example, and maybe also a duration of how long price may take to reach a certain level. So once we have that, this prediction in our mind, then we may wait for extra confirmation. This could be, price starting to move in the right direction, maybe even a trade signal from one of our indicators or other things like candle formations. And if all these things line up, we get this confirmation, then we're going to execute the trade. Now, this is, it's a long process. It's 3 steps and it's very selective. And as I mentioned before, because we are time bound, I may sometimes skip the last step here, just jump in a bit earlier, just because I want to execute some trades. So the last step may be a bit optional today, but nonetheless, we're going to look at some signals, some extra confirmation to see if we can get some extra help for our trades. Okay, so we're going to do rely heavily today also on indicators. So indicators, at least the way we trade, do all the heavy lifting for us. And this is on purpose because we as traders, and I think this everybody should consider, you have one main job as a trader. Your main job is not to analyze where support, resistance, what's the current trend direction, what's volume doing. That's not your job. Indicators are much better at this. Your job as a trader and my job as a trader is to make that final decision. Do I want to execute the trade or do I stay on the sidelines? That's my job. I want to spend all my mental energy on this. All right. So what are the indicators which will help us with these 3 steps? First off, and the story of the market can be as complicated or as simple as you like. Our approach is typically more on the simple side. So what do we look at? First of all, what is the trend direction? Are we currently bullish or bearish? And oftentimes it's just easier to trade with the trend than against the trend. So we're going to use MA Rush, our trend indicator, to figure out what is the current trend direction. This can be as simple as just looking at what is the last label on the chart. Are we bullish or bearish? we may use this as a filter, perhaps to only trade with the trend and against it. Secondly, where are key levels? We're going to use Liquidity IQ for this, an indicator designed to find key support and resistance levels. So support down here, the red line, resistance on top here. And there's one particular event which is also flagged by this indicator, which we're going to pay a lot of attention to today. It's a liquidity capture event. Look at these little shaded areas here. These are one of my favorite things to trade because these are candles which wick into a key level, in this case, a key resistance level. It cannot fully break it, and this candle has abnormally high volume. And in our view, in our experience, if this happens, it increases the odds that we're going to see a bounce from this level rather than a break of this level. All right, so these events are we're going to be paying attention to a lot today. And in fact, I have set up an alert in TradingView, which will notify us when these events are happening on various futures contracts. So, okay. And then finally, we're also going to look, where's the action? Where's the most volume traded? Where's the fewest volume traded? And oftentimes, at these, heavily traded price areas, like these high volume nodes, these things that stick out, these can act as extra support and resistance. And one of the best setups that, we like is where a support level, let's say, from Liquidity IQ coincides with a high volume node of Volume IQ, because then two things are coming together, potentially preventing price from going further down, and price may bounce off instead. So we're going to use Volume IQ for that. All right, so once we do have an understanding of the market, then we're going to try to predict what's the next step they're going to be all about. And for this, we're going to try to put everything together, what we have learned so far. So for example, on this chart here, we are right here. Price is at this point here. How did we end up at this price point? Let's ask ourselves this question. How did we end up here? Well, first off, we are bearish. So price has been coming down to end up at this point here. Would you agree? So we are bearish. Secondly, we are right at this high volume node. You see this one, this big node here? A Volume IQ. In fact, that's the heavily traded price area. And oftentimes, these can be acting as support and resistance. And since price is below this node, it may prevent price from going further up. And instead, price may bounce off this level. So that's resistance right here, where we are right now. And on top of all this, we can also see that Liquidity IQ is showing us another resistance level all the way on top here. So basically, we have two lines in the sand. And if we were to make a prediction, well, I guess the prediction would be, well, let's go short. This would be a short setup. The next chapter would be probably that price will go further down. And maybe as far as this level down here, the support level, where it may bounce off from again. With this prediction, we can then make, create a trading strategy. So price will decline. That's our prediction number one. It may bounce off the support level down here. This happens a lot. So our target probably should be above the support level. And thirdly, if we were to take a stop, I like to have two lines in the sand, two defenses basically set up. The first one would be this high volume node of Volume IQ. And then the second one here, this resistance level by Liquidity IQ. So I put my stop just above this level. This is how we're going to plan out our trades today. And you can see everything basically was given to us by our indicators. So to put all these information together in our head to come up with our trading plan. And then, of course, occasionally, if you want to see extra confirmation that prices will actually come down this way, we can wait for trade signals. So, for example, a signal that could come in by our 1 to 3 strike indicator, maybe a short signal in this case by 1 to 3 strike, or perhaps a signal by our divergence cloud indicator or some other indicators that may be used for this purpose, like volatility crusher also. All right, now lots of theory. Let's stop the theory right here. Let's start and look at the charts. So let's move on to our charts. I'm going to show you first of all how we set up our TradingView charts. I'm going to switch over now to TradingView, and you can see alerts are already kicking in. This is an alert here which alerts us of these liquidity capture events. And this one happened here at M2K at the Russell futures. In fact, let's check it out real quick. What happened with that alert? I'm going to close this out, and we're going to see my alerts rolling in here. And we had a whole bunch of alerts coming in. And let's start with the Russell. So what happened at the Russell? So I'm going to go to the full chart here. Oh, not this one. Connect. And we're going to open up the Russell. And if we are right, we may see a liquidity capture event at the recent bar. Let's check it out. Aha, look at this. That's exactly what I was talking about before. What did we see here? This happened on this candle here. A candle wicks down into a support level, we get this liquidity capture event. There it is, and we bounce off from it. These other setups, we missed this one because I was talking too much. My bad. But there'll be other ones coming in. These are the events which I will be looking for because these can give us really nice bounce setups. It's a high reward, low risk setup. Our stop loss would just be below this level here. We're just hoping for the bounce of this level. So you can see these alerts are rolling in here in my trading view. So also Bitcoin, MBT, I'm really curious to see what will happen with Bitcoin today. It's struggling. It's at a key level once again. Yeah, look at this. Liquidity capture, a bit of a bounce. So these are the events we will be looking for. Ethereum also, let me just quickly look here at corn futures. Unfortunately, that's in all honesty, that's a symbol I'm in right now personally. So this is not the right trading direction. I was hoping for a break of this level here. I'm a bit in the hole right now of this trade, but nonetheless, I have a longer term plan for this one. This has been open for a couple of days now. I believe that corn futures, at least in the medium term, will be breaking down, and then I'm going to book some profits here, but we are not there right now. Nonetheless, I'm going to keep this trade open. This is based on a different thesis, not necessarily for day trading that I'm in this trade right now. I'm just going to wait it out. Okay, so, but let me go back to the way we set up our charts. So the first thing is this chart here. And what you can see here, let me just put this down a little bit, is it's a chart once the indicators load. Let's take a little bit of coffee. Good Tim Hortons coffee from Canada. The best. We have a Tim Hortons right next to our office here. And if this ever loads, come on, trading view, let's go. We can see that we do have our volume IQ indicator on the left-hand side, and the other ones should be rolling in right there. Okay, perfect. And we have MA Rush is not loaded yet. We have Liquidity IQ also here. You can see the resistance levels here, the support levels, and so forth. And we can see that MNQ right now just came off this support level here. It bounced off this level. Now it's trading in this narrow range in between support and resistance. And we call this the magnet zone setup because it's really like in the middle of the two things. But also just below this high volume node, which may prevent price from going higher. That may act as extra resistance. And then, of course, we also do have our MA Rush indicator. We can see here it just switched over to bearish. It was bullish for a long time. And now on the last candle, wow, what a coincidence. It switched to bearish. This gives us our overall trend direction. And you know what? If we break this level, if we break the support level, maybe a short trade might be in order. We'll see if this will happen. Okay, so this is how we set up the chart. Basically, we have three main indicators. And then once we have an interesting setup, right now here we wouldn't, then we're going to look at some signals. And for this, we're either going to use our divergence cloud indicator. Oops, it just did not load. Just give me a second. There we go. Some of it needs a second try to load because it's a very computational intense indicator. There we go. And we can see here, yeah, we did get a nice sell signal here. I would not execute right now on the start. It's too old, but sometimes we're going to wait for these extra signals to kick in to execute on a trade. All right. Now, with all this, let's now look at the markets. Let's see if we can find some interesting setups right now in the market. All right. So I'm going to, for this purpose, let me just switch off Divergence Cloud. Let's do a bit of an overview. And actually, the first thing I wanted to say is, and please bear with me, I just wanted to have a quick look at the overall global markets, just to give you some context of what is the the global market conditions right now. So let's start with the SPY. Well, the SPY, you can see it's very bullish. This is a daily chart. We are pushing, it's the S&P 500 ETF, we are pushing all-time highs, and this level may act as resistance. So I would not be awfully surprised if we see a bit of a bounce at current price levels to lower price levels, maybe even an attempt to fill this gap here. It's definitely in the card. So if, on the shorter time frame, we break the support level, it's going to be the same on MES. You break this level here, we may see a bit of a follow through to the downside, which can be tradable. Because we are really at this exhaustion point here in the SPY. If we make all-time highs, however, then I think there might be a good follow-through to the upside. So we'll see what the market will decide to do. So that was this. Then let's look at gold. Gold, of course, was the big surprise yesterday, at least to me, to some degree. You can see gold had a big correction. Level 2 pullback in trend radar, the first attack in months that we've seen. I personally acted yesterday on this pullback. I sold some puts at these levels here. But you know what? Gold just filled this gap here. You see this little gap here? This was filled. Oh no, it was not filled. My bad. This gap from here to here was not filled. So if this gap were to get filled, prices would have to come down all the way to 368. So we may see more downwards pressure, or we're gonna fill the gap to here, or maybe even higher. So let's see what happens in gold. We're gonna keep an eye on this as well. We open up a bit bullish in gold, but let's see how this one will pan out. And then we have silver, of course, as well. Silver. Let's look at this one here. Also, a big gap to be filled. Level 3 pullback in silver. I also sold some puts in silver yesterday, assuming that this is just a correction of this very bullish move. And let's see how this one will pan out. But of course, these are longer term trades. Okay. Yes, and crude. Good point. Let's have a look at oil as well. Yeah, we pushed high. We reached the low point at 66 here today. We gapped higher open, and right now it looks quite bullish. And there's still a bit of room left until we hit this former support level here, which may act as resistance. So yeah, oil looks very bullish. And let's actually start with crude oil. Let's see where we are with crude oil right now on the day trading time frame. All right. So MCL, there we go. All right. Okay, so yeah, MCL, once this loads, it's pushing to new highs. Okay, and let me just see until everything loads. Yeah, there's still a bit of room to go. It's a little bit too far away from this key level here, this former resistance level, kind of in the middle of nowhere in oil. Would I like to chase now this long break trade? Probably not. I think prices are already too far up. If we, however, come down to this high volume node, you can see this one here, volume IQ. This could perhaps be an interesting price level to enter long after we see a bit of a pullback. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to put a little alert here. If price comes down to this level, maybe, not saying we're going to do it, but maybe this could be an interesting long opportunity because this level may act as support. And if it breaks, then we're going to put our stop just below this. So we're going to put my alert here. Chasing all at this price level right here, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, so that was that. Let's look at gold. Gold is interesting because it's the 50-minute time frame, by the way. So on this 50-minute time frame, what do we see right now? So gold is definitely bearish. Of course, we had this big bearish day yesterday, a bit of a recovery right now in gold. If we come up to this high volume node, you know what we could also do at this case, because we have bearish momentum, absolutely, and that's also a broken support level here, which may act as extra resistance. We, may consider a short trade here in the momentum. This could just be a pullback within this bearish momentum trade here. If we're coming up to this high volume node, once again, potentially, this could be a short setup, which would be in line with our bearish trend here. So also I'm going to put a little alert here. You can see I let trading do all the heavy lifting for me. I'm putting alerts left and right, just so that I don't have to, keep, switching back to this chart. I simply will be alerted when something is happening. All right. So that's interesting. Okay, we have our 2 alerts there, but let me look at an overview first. So what do we see here? So these are the indices for charts, and I'm sorry for jumping around a little bit. I just want to have a quick overview of what looks interesting right now. So we have micro NASDAQ here, micro S&P 500, micro Dow down here, and here we have the micro Russell. So what looks interesting? Well, of these ones, I can see this one is right in the middle of support and resistance. Probably not so interesting right now. What do we see here? We just went bearish of MA Rush, and we are at this zone of control. Yeah, I'm just a bit worried that shorting NASDAQ is just such a bullish symbol lately, and also shorting the S&P 500 is maybe not the best idea. If we break this level, then maybe, but shorting it at this level, and this zone of control, I think I'm rather gonna wait for this. So just wait for this level break. So here we're kind of in the middle, in between the support level and this resistance level. But Dow, on the other hand, micro Russell, where are we right now? Here we are right at this key support level. And I think we did have a liquidity capture event. Remember we had this one? a bit earlier. So let me go back to the Russell to see if we can see an interesting trade idea here. So we're coming down back to this level once the indicator loads. There we go. And it's interesting to see.
A lot of the
Okay.
indices look like that, Daniel. If you take a look at Dow too, it's dropping off, I think, from a tier two as well. But it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
similar to this.
they're all coming down. And yeah, look, I'm just gonna start with real quick with the Russell. Yeah, we're coming down once again to the support level, and it says long bouncy, even liquidity IQ. And the idea could be this is a little field buy here to maybe go take a long trade. It goes a bit against this bearish momentum that we've been here in lately, but maybe a little trade here, anticipating a bounce once again off this level towards this tier two zone here. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Let's have a quick look at the Dow. Oh, Dow really
I'd
came
be
down
wary.
hard.
Yeah, I'd be wary of taking a bounce because we do have MA Rush bearish. We've lost a tier
Yeah.
two. There's not a lot of volume below the level. It might break easily.
Yeah, for sure. If we break, then I think we can take the breakout trade. Yeah, and here we can see we're coming down to this bigger volume level. I think you saw tier two maybe on a smaller time frame. But for Dow here, I think we're right in the middle, in between support and resistance. That's yeah, it's a bit here. I would stay on the sidelines. But let me go back to the Russell real quick just to see. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this to see what the market does. We're not in a rush today. It's only 9:56, so we can take our time. And in fact, we just got an alert in our alerts here. Not sure if you saw it. Micro Bitcoin with an alert of support liquidity capture and a Bitcoin. I think it was this bar here. And Bitcoin is actually, I'm going to open this up real quick here just for fun of it. Bitcoin is at a key level. Just go to spot Bitcoin. You can see it here. Sorry. Yeah, we are right at this critical juncture here. And if we lose this level on 108,000, now I think we may revert all the way to 94,000, or even some people say to 74,000 in Bitcoin, because that's from a macro point of view, but it is really at a critical level. And if we now look at the chart here,
Tier two.
my-
Yeah, it's coming off on the
yeah, it's
15
right
minute.
at the end. What? Oh, liquidity I didn't load. Just 1 second. Bear with me. Sometimes you can see it here, little life hack. You see this little exclamation mark next to one of our indicators. TradingView couldn't load it, meaning it took too long to draw these levels or to find out these levels. What you need to do is simply to reload the symbol, and it probably will work. So now the indicators are reloading. You can see it here, and now it worked. Oh yeah, look at this. That was a nice. That would have been a great trade, Nicholas. Look at this bounce
I don't
here.
know because look where we're at. Like, there's a tier one above, so low volume node. We got bearish momentum. We're in a seller block too. I'd actually be
Yeah.
watching this right now to see how does it progress through this area, like 108 to 109 500, let's say. If it starts to fail and come back to that support level, I would actually go short and expecting we're going to break. But we have had a lot of down on Bitcoin, so maybe it's just going to bounce today. We've got a really low volume node above. Maybe it's going to go all the way back to 111 and a half
Yeah.
or something, but it does look like it could be a good short. Like, what if we lose 100,000? It
Oh,
could be a big ride down.
yeah, but only if you lose this level. I think I want to see a decisive break of the support level. If we just go in here, I think I would rather
I would even
look at the
short
bounce.
preemptively though if we
No,
lost the tier two. I would short and then just a stop really close above the tier two in
uh,
case like a
that's a
109 stop.
that's a very aggressive play. We'll see if we're gonna do it, but yeah,
It's a cheap contract.
it is a cheap contract. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Let's see. Let's see if this one. I think. I just have a feel that it might push higher. Well, let's keep an eye on this at least. Right
For
now,
sure.
but you say if you lose this level, right? So you have to come
Thing,
down. We
if we
lose it.
struggle here and we lose the tier two and then we're coming back in, there's no
Yeah,
liquidity capture. I would short with a stop at like 109, just expecting
yeah,
we might go down to 106 today or something. But it
yeah,
does look like it's been consolidating. A lot of liquidity captures. It's probably not going to happen.
yeah. In fact, let's okay. Well, here, let's have a quick look. We had another alert coming in on Ethereum futures. I think it's a very similar setup here in Ethereum. It's loading here. Let's just have a quick look. Uh, where was this capture event? Takes a little while to load today. There we go. Yeah, MA Rush is now loaded. Oh boy, trading views. Sometimes, yeah, we had it here. Very similar event. Look at this. We came into this support level liquidity capture and a bit of a bounce upwards. And sometimes, when I see these events right here, I keep this trade on a very short leash. Just a few pips upwards, can take a bit of off the market, and I'm out of it, just in case the bearish momentum will continue. But if it's oftentimes a bit of a bounce is often to happen. And this is still tradable. Yeah, just make sure you have your trade on a very short leash. All right. So that was that. But let me go back to my overview here. Okay. Okay, what is here's gold? Gold, yeah, is getting to this tier two. We'll see if we're gonna get there. Maybe we're gonna short gold at this point. Here we have silver. Silver also at this tier two, of course. Gold and silver yesterday, very bearish in general. And here my outlook would also be potentially looking at a short. But of course, I have a bit of a fear there because these symbols, of course, were so bullish over the last weeks and months, going against that trend, even from a day trading point of view. To me, it sounds a bit scary, um, but if the technical setup comes up and silver, maybe for a short here, we'll see how this pans out. This could not be the worst idea. Let's have a quick look at crude oil. Yeah, crude oil is just pushing higher. I was hoping for a bit of a pullback here towards this tier two. Not happening. Micro natural gas here, also a little bit in the middle of nowhere. You can see it here. Yeah. And here we have cord futures. Yeah, my nemesis. I was thinking if this level breaks, in fact, no, this is the level, the symbol where I have the trade open. Let me just quickly go to this one here. Where do we have it? Um, corn futures ZC. It's coming down a little bit. So I had this big spiky bar here, but I still think, you know, it's bearish. And if you look at the longer term picture of this contract, in fact, it's quite bearish. And I think if we lose this level, we'll see a nice follow through. But this, once again, is a bit of a more longer term trade, which I am in right now. Uh,
Daniel,
yeah,
if you have a second, can we go to MNQ?
yeah,
Because
of
it's had
course.
a 100-point bounce within the last 15 minutes. And we had a question here. Maybe you can answer this because it's a good example from Paula.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to determine how do I, if there's something like this where there's whipsawing, like we could see we
Mhm.
dropped all the way down 100 points, we come all the way back up 100 points. Paula wants to know, how do I kind of gauge the price action in a move like this where there's momentum, but it's whipsawing? How do I find a way to stay in the trade longer? What's the best way to make sure you stay in the trade, you don't get kind of scared by the whipsawing or tricked?
Yeah, and or sometimes if it's too whipsawing, I just simply not trade this contract. That's
I'd say a
I
good
like it.
entry though, right? Like a limit entry, like you always do, is the probably the best way to stay from getting whipsawed is don't chase and
Yeah,
wait for
yeah, yeah.
the
That's part of my discipline move. So if we execute a trade or we enter into a trade, I always like to not do it by market order. I put my limit order, get the market or let the market go to the price level that I want to be at. Then I enter. Yeah, absolutely. Mhm. Yeah,
Yep. And
but
we look
here,
here. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I'm just worried that this, I see a big reversion to the upside. But you're thinking we're bouncing off this. Well, we did bounce off this tier two here towards lower price levels, which is in line with the bearish sentiment.
I'm not sure
So
what's going to happen here, but Bitcoin's following NASDAQ. It did drop all the way down. That wick that went below support didn't have a liquidity capture associated with it.
yeah,
Um, they both wicked down, wicked back up, but NQ can definitely go back to that tier two. But Bitcoin does look like it's struggling here a little bit. If you go to the 5-minute chart,
yeah.
um, and liquidity IQ, you have it on the 30-minute, but I think if you had it on the chart time frame, like the 5-minute, um, I believe there should be a resistance level that it just bounced off of directly above price. I might be wrong about this. Let's wait for it to load.
Yeah.
Right
Okay. Yeah.
there.
It's right here. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So we came off there, and if we lose this tier two, I mean, Rush just went bullish, but that's kind of iffy. But it's
Because
definitely ranging, and it's in a big decisive area here. So
yeah, I'm too much of a chicken of going short at right above the support level. If I wanted to short this, I would just do it once we lose the level. That would be my my
gotcha.
approach. But of course, there's different ways to how aggressive or conservative you want to be. I think for this one, I'm just a bit more on the conservative side. If we Yeah, there is support right here. We would be shorting right into a support level where we may bounce off from. It's just not the trade where everything lines up for a nice clear market direction because there's a distinct possibility yes we're going to bounce off once again. We've done this a few times off the support level.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my usual setup and okay, there we go. Okay, so 30-minute reference time for on liquidity IQ. And yeah, and I'm kind of more bullish actually on this one. I think this level is very strong. It's very contested. You can see how much action there has been this level. There's a high volume node here in volume IQ. It's super contested. And definitely it's an area of interest, I guess, for many who are trading Bitcoin right now at this price level. And something is about to happen. So if a level is contested like this, oftentimes once this congestion zone, I would call it, is resolved, you may see a big move in either direction, wherever it's resolved to. Yeah, this brings up another good point. Actually, let me just hide the grid here so we can see the levels just a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Um, Oftentimes at these big high volume nodes, we see price congestion. You can see it here. Price really slows down these price levels. It's very contested. Whereas if price is in these lower volume node areas, it accelerates oftentimes. Look at how big these bars were in these low volume areas here, going up and going down. Yeah. This is what I meant. These levels are oftentimes contested. So I'm actually watching this, Nicholas. And of course, in trade, you have to make a decision and go long or short. That's all you need to do. I'm more in favor, even though Emmy Rush is bearish here, that we see a small bounce of this levels to the upside. I think Bitcoin is so many people are watching this level. Of course, if we lose it, we see I think a big follow through. But preemptively betting on the fact that we're gonna lose it this time, I think that's a bit to me
Especially
a
on the
bit too
15
risky.
minute, like on the 5 minute, I spoke about that resistance level. I actually shorted it on my end when it touched that resistance, but I just
Oh yeah.
covered right when you were saying that I covered down at 108,
Okay.
300. I'm not
Yeah.
holding it because it does look like from a longer term, it looks like we're
Yeah.
rolling off that support level
It's
upwards.
it's it's just such an important level. Yeah. So this needs to hold. And this is the level that all the experts are watching because if we lose it, people say we're gonna go all the way down to the abyss here. So that level is key. And I'm thinking I may scale into a long position here. That's the beauty about trading. I think I told this story before. Oh, where two traders they come to the trading room in the morning, trading the same symbol. And one trader goes long, the other trader goes short, and at the end of the day, both traders had a profitable trade. How is this possible? Well, it's all into trade management and managing your expectation. You just went short. You had a profitable trade. Maybe I'm going to go long. I may have a profitable trade too. Yeah, it's all about management and when to get out of your trade at the end.
Definitely. Yeah. And here, yeah, it might take a couple days or a
Yeah,
week for this level to be figured out. We might just be
I'm I'm
bumping
gonna
around it.
yeah, I think just for the sake of getting something on the books here, I'm gonna take a little feel buy, of course by limit order. Uh of Bitcoin here. If we go below this level here, I think we're gonna see a big follow through. I'm gonna get out of it. I might take profit just moderately, just here at this tier two. Just see what's happening. I do think we may bounce off this key level. And I like the fact that it coincides with volume IQ's high volume node here, which can be extra resistance. So let's
Definitely.
see what
And a
happens.
question from Ann Coleman here.
Yeah.
No, Ann, we don't, but we will in the future. So Ann wanted to know, are we going to do we have searches? I guess she means scans and trading view for liquidity and MA Rush, liquidity IQ. We don't right now, but they will come in the future. That's in the works. We
Perfect.
have it on our end
Yeah.
coming up.
And the best you can do now, especially if one of the pro plans of TradingView, is you can define alerts. So this is basically what I look for all day long. Have these alerts rolling in, and the way I set
Very
them
well.
up, I basically have a watch list of all my futures. I think it's this one here, which I took, like all the futures I'm interested in, if it's for day trading, and then what I will do is I go to alert here, and in my alert conditions, I pick liquidity IQ, for example. Uh, and I like to look at the support and resistance liquidity captures. This is what I like to do. And then I pick as the symbol, not just the symbol of the chart, which is micro Bitcoin here, I pick the entire futures watch list. That's available in some of the more advanced or expensive plans in TradingView. So I don't have to do it manually for all these symbols, which is very tedious. I can do it for all 23 symbols, and this watch list could have been even bigger for this one. And look at this. I just got one here in ZL. Let's check it out. And then I execute on that. Let's just have a quick look at ZL.
And
Where are we?
Paula, yeah, Paula writes the heartbreak is if the support holds a really long time, implying a bounce, then it breaks anyways. Yep, but that's the beauty of being able to place a stop loss right below the support level, which is why we have them. So it's not going to be such a big heartbreak if you don't move your stop loss further
Yeah,
away.
I like this one, Nicholas. Look at this. Tier 2 and a liquidity capture at this level. Let me just enter this one right now. I know it's bearish, but I just zoomed
Bearish.
out a little bit. Um,
Maybe check the 30-minute too.
I will. I'm just gonna put it real quick. I may go out of it if it doesn't work out quickly, but so we have something on the books here. Yeah, I did zoom back a little bit, and I saw.
Oh,
Uh, now if you go, let's say to the let's say the 2 hour or something. Oh, I do see a bit of a bullish momentum here recovering. Uh, but this will be one of these trades where I just look for a quick bounce off this level. I'm not going to take much. This is just a super small trade. So, in fact, on the 2 hour, we can see it's a bit bullish here. We bounced at this level before. Can see it here. And we have a high volume node and a liquidity capture. One of my favorite setups. So these are the kind of scalps I like to trade, like to take just throughout the day a little bit. And with a nice reward to risk ratio, you can see my stop loss just below this level here. Maybe if I really want to be honest, I probably want to put it here now. It's a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio, just below this little swing low here. Anticipating if we get our fill, we may bounce off this level towards higher price levels. Let me just get our fill. Okay, so let's see what happens there. Perfect. All right. Okay, well, first trade open. All right. I hope it's gonna be a good one. We'll see what price will bring us. And me,
I'd even
yeah,
put the stop just below that little. You have it like in the middle of that high volume chunk there. I put it right below that high
right
volume
here.
chunk. Just yeah. What is
Yeah,
that? Those are buyers we could see on the right. So I would let
yeah,
it screw around into that area. And MA Rush is bullish on this time frame, so there's actually quite a bit of stuff lining up.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Small trade, just one contract. That's just a little feel by
Bitcoin's
off.
coming down. Sorry to interrupt you, but
What's coming down?
I think
Bit
Bitcoin just hit low of the morning. Did it? No, it
oh, did I get
almost
my
did. It
fill?
almost
No,
did.
it came down a little bit. Yeah, I still have my limit order here. Let's see what happens there. And we did. Oh, this was the ZL liquidity capture. You saw how I got alerted for this one. Yeah. Alerts are coming in, and I check it out. If I like the setup, I just execute on it. And this is very nice offline activity. Usually, I write emails and prepare webinars and whatever. I see the alert coming in, since on my cell phone too. I check out the chart. If I like what I see, I execute on it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that looks good. Okay, so let's see how this one will pan out. Let's go back to our market overview. What do we have? Okay. Yeah, so Nasdaq still struggling. Well, right at the support level. This could also be an interesting long, potentially, if we can hold this level. Dow coming down here, and Russell is right at this level too. Look at this. We're actually coming below this level in Russell. We're still in the vicinity, but also here, this might, if you lose it, we may see a bit of a follow through to the downside in the micro Russell. All right, let's go back to my equities here. Silver, yeah, silver is doing what? Oh, where's silver? Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's right at this. So this was gold here. Silver's right at this high volume node, which seems to be acting a bit as resistance. We also have a bit of a stair-stepping pattern downwards. You can see it here, lower highs. Here, lower high here, lower here, lower high here, which could be the high point. And maybe another attempt towards the support level down here. Possibly. Copper is stuck in the middle at this zone of control. And Palladium, I'm not going to trade Palladium today, is coming back up to this former support level. And you see it here. Another liquidity capture came in on MNQ. Let's check it out. All right, so back to MNQ. What are we? There we
Still
go.
a lot of volume on MNQ. And
Yeah.
here, just so everybody knows, because we get questions, so a liquidity capture basically tells you, so we're bearish, it tells you
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of volume.
Just
Generally,
went
that often
bearish.
means the
Yeah.
level's holding, but we are coming down. There's a lot of volume. It might hold, but it could also be a sign that it's not going to hold. And now big players are selling. And we can see right below price, look at that really low volume node there. Usually that tells us, that's why we have that tier 1 action zone. Look, nobody's buying, nobody's selling in there. So if we do drop into that 25-200 or below range, we might drop all the way down to 25-100 real quick, like
Yeah.
down to the next level. But who
Especially
knows?
if we lose it, exactly. So if we lose this level here. Uh, but yeah, I mean, let's look at this. I, I wish this was not
I
bearish
wouldn't short
momentum here.
now. I wouldn't short now.
Oh, short for sure. Not. I was thinking maybe even going long for the little bounce trade, but let's just see
Wouldn't go long
how.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do something which we should be doing anyways. Let's look at our indicators. What do our indicators say? So divergence cloud has a great great win rate to the short, the 2.66 profit factor, and it has had a short signal here, so that's old news. It closed it here. And let me just see if the 1-2-3 strike gave us a signal as well, or it did give us a signal recently. Let's have a look. 1-2-3 strike is, oops, 1 second. It's configured with one partial exit. All right, let it reload. Now, here we have long signal, so that will go. Yeah, not with the trade idea of fading at this level. So we'll see what happens with this one. I still think that we may see a bullish bounce off this level towards higher price levels. I'm a bit torn. Okay, let's keep an eye on this one. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna hide this one as well. Okay, so quick review. What did we have? ZL. How's that one panning out? So let's see. A bit of a bounce. There we go. All right, all right.
Wow,
that's
going well.
well, third. It's only one contract. It's just it's a nice setup where this a big high volume node coinciding with the support level.
If we hit that target, what is that? That's $250 or something like that.
Something like this, yeah. Maybe a bit less, because I think it was priced out in Canadian dollars. Our account is denominated in Canadian dollars. And
yes, Donna, it's being recorded. Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We'll keep an eye on this one. Hopefully, this is going to be our first good trade of the day. All right, so let me go back to Bitcoin. What happened in Bitcoin? Now we at this level, man. It is, or it's the daily time frame. Sorry. Here.
I say if we stayed on the daily chart, that's actually good information. I didn't notice that. If we could go back to that daily chart,
such a key level, yeah.
In the liquidity captures, and what's the higher range there? It's like 109, right? At that little pivot high above price. No, it's one.
This one.
That's one. Oh, okay,
it's
that's
huge.
113.
No, it's
big
huge.
range.
But this level is just so contested where we are right now. But of course, these are huge levels. This is Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin moves moves a lot. So if you go to this smaller time frame, I can still see that, we're bouncing off this. This is just, yeah. I mean, we went down all the way here. I would not wait until it goes to 103,000. This was just 1 wick down. But this level is also contested. So if we come down here, I think a long bounce is not the worst idea. All right, so let's see what happens. Here we have just to be patient. Yeah, I don't like to chase. I'd rather miss out on a trade rather than chasing a trade. Okay, so let's go back to my overview chart. What's Nasdaq doing? Nasdaq is bouncing a little bit off this level. All right. Okay, that's encouraging. Thank you for fixing my liquidity platform. Oh, Van, I am happy to. Do you mean Liquidity View, Van? Not sure what that refers to, but yeah, you're welcome. Whatever we fixed for you. Okay.
What's the Dow doing? MYM.
Dow is like caught in the middle. See this here, in between support and resistance.
I really like Dow for a slow scale in short, using those pivot
short
highs. If we come back up to that 47,100 or something, just because the risk to reward on the short side is extremely good.
Hang on, let me open the Dow here. Where do we have it? MYM short.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, I blew my nose while I had the microphone on.
No problem. It's just zone break retrace in progress. What I personally look, we broke a resistance here. Come back.
We do have it's hard for price to come all the way back up. You see, if you put your cursor at that high volume node right above, right around there, 47,120. Yeah, like if price comes up there, we can see it's contested right there at 47,100. I just like the reward to risk on the short side more if we come up, because the next place we'll drop to is probably like 46,800. And in order for it to be a good reward to risk long, we really have to come down more.
I was gonna have a look at what our indicators, our signal indicators say. Give me 1 second, because I personally would say this is classic zone break retrace. So divergence cloud is long off for a long time. This is, in fact, maybe I should go to a smaller time frame here. Let's just have a look. What's the 5-minute doing on this one? Yeah, we did have a nice short entry signal here, which we just covered. Okay. As per divergence cloud, and you know what I'm gonna do also, maybe in the second half, nearing the second half this workshop, is to just sometimes what I like to do, just because it's so much fun, is just to look at my signal indicators first, like basically reverse our approach. Look at entry signals. Once I see them, then I see, hey, what are we? Does the technical setup make sense in terms of the levels where we're at, and then just execute based on very small time frames. So I think we're gonna come into this in the second half of this workshop. So kind of a more like a scalping approach, not like the approach where we first look at the levels first. When we and only trade when we are at key levels. You could also, of course, also do a signal first. Yeah, look at the signals first, then just execute based on the signals. As long as they make sense, you don't trade just directly against the key level. So that's something we're gonna try in the second half of today's workshop. All right. Okay, so let me quickly recap what has happened so far. So our trade here, oh, that one now came down again. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. So we're still in this support level. We had a bit of a wick up. See what happens. It's not over for the signal yet. Bitcoin is
Could you check
coming down.
check the 1 minute on Bitcoin, Daniel? I just want to point something out because oftentimes
Yeah,
people ask about short time frames. So
yeah,
the best short time frame indicator I like is volume IQ. And if
yeah.
we look here, okay, we got bullish, but we're going to see something interesting, I believe, on the volume profile, which I'll often use for like little executions here. So look at that. That's the line in the sand since the open. Right there, 108, 300. That's an important level. So oftentimes zooming in on a short time frame, if that gets lost, if you want to take a scalp trade, like I
Mhm.
personally, I'd go short right now and I put my stop right above the pivots there. Just expecting we might go all the way down to 107.6 or something. It's a high risk trade. Um,
So you're saying short it until we hit my limit order here, and then reverse it to the long side?
No, I'm saying it's short it here and then cover at the support level. But
Down
it,
here.
it is
Okay.
wiser to look at the longer time frame and wait. But that's just me getting antsy for a trade. It does look like there's no evidence that it's not going to recover right now just yet. But I would be
Uh,
wary about that long order.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll
wouldn't
see.
take that. I think we would come at least to the support, but who knows? Maybe we'll set a higher low. Hard
We'll
to say.
see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a cheap contract, and perhaps we're gonna just scale in maybe another one as we come a bit closer. And remember, guys, we want to take some trades here, so sometimes just jump in a bit earlier into a trade. All right, so here, oh my goodness, yeah, maybe we'll be losing this level here. It looked so promising in the beginning. Oh, well, no harm, no foul. We'll see where we're going to end up. We entered here. It's the bounce can still happen. You can see we are at this. In fact, this is the 15-minute. Did I reconfigure my? No, it's good. Okay. Anyways, we're still here. We're scaling into this trade near tier two. So if we can recover a bit further, I think it's still possible. We just got our execution on Bitcoin. All right, let's check it out. Bitcoin. All right. Okay, so now, of course, the idea is, and Nicholas, uh, we'll see what. Well, in the end, in trading, only one person can be right. He said, "Don't short it." I said, "Yeah, let's go." I said, "Don't go long here." I'm gonna go long. In the anticipation, we're gonna hold this level, as we've done in the past a few times, and we're gonna be bouncing off this level, towards at least the zone of control.
We've
That's
hit,
the this one.
yeah, we're at the lowest it's been since 8 a.m., but we still got a pivot low around 107,600, and then the lows of the day are all the way down at 107. I
Yep,
don't know if we're going to make it there, but yeah, maybe we'll see a higher low.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one. So we have our executions, and let's just keep an eye on it. Yeah. Quickly go back just to keep an eye on my ZS trade here. Oh, this is ZS. No, this is
ZL,
not
I think. Yeah.
ZL. Yeah, sorry, ZL trade. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I still must, we may still see a nice bounce off this level here. Yep. So no wonder why did I go long at this price level? I must have seen something there
You
because
went
I can.
long there, I believe, because at the time it was a larger candle. It was 2 candles ago, and the support zone was large. We were actually almost all the way in the support zone, but now we've got lower volatilities, so the support zone
Oh,
shrunk.
that's
But
why
I might
I
scale
was
in. I would scale in maybe if we came all the way down to in the middle of that, we got a liquidity capture, then
right.
scale in another contract.
I was wondering, Danny, what did I do? Why did I put my entry so far above the support level? But Nicholas is absolutely right. I got caught by a feature that we built into this indicator, which is supposed to help you
Not
to
caught,
understand how.
but it
No,
just
yeah, not caught, but maybe that's not the right word. But let me do something real quick, just for fun. I'm gonna hide all other indicators except for liquidity IQ, just to show you what just happened here. So I'm gonna go to replay mode, And I'm going to go here to this bar. This is where we were when we took that trade. Once this opens up, there we go. Come on. So this is the one bar before, I guess. I'm going to let this load for a second. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, this is, hang on. We're talking about this level here. So now I'm going to go one step further. Okay. There. Okay. So now we see this zone here. And I think what we saw, go one step even further, is this one here. Yeah. You can see that we actually wicked into this big level. You can see it here. We came all the way into this zone. This is when I took the trade. And the reason why I took it there is because you see how big this box now is. It stretches out from 50, 44. If you look on the right-hand side, 50, 44, all the way down to 50, I don't know, 26. Or you can see it here, 50, no, sorry, 50, 26, and 50, 44. And now, if you move even further, if you can, or if I just exit replay mode, oh, what? Whatever. Anyway, you see my point. I mean, we're this area here. Okay, now we're out of it. You might see that this resistance level now has shrunk a little bit. You can see it here. Oh, no, it's the same.
Yeah. No. Definitely, because this is a lower, this candle's body is smaller. There was no
Yeah,
liquidity capture. I wouldn't be surprised if we still get a liquidity capture, but it does look like it's lifting off.
yeah. Okay.
Bitcoin also reverted upwards. Well, I actually think this would be a time I would short Bitcoin, although it might be a little counterintuitive because Nasdaq is dropping into that low volume node we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's almost it's all the way down to 25,170 now. It dropped 50 points, and Bitcoin at the opposite end went up. It bounced up to
Uh,
1083, and it's probably going to follow the Nasdaq. So this is kind of like a leader lagger situation from my perspective to short Bitcoin.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
short
sorry, yeah,
Bitcoin
you're
right
long.
now. We gotta,
Yeah,
we have a liquidity capture right now. I still
yeah,
like it for a bit of a bounce. We'll see. I
for
mean,
sure.
in the end, we,
Nasdaq though is dropping.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't go long Nasdaq. Look at this. Let's go back here. Also, somebody pointed out that Russell is dropping too. Yeah, we just lost. We're about to lose this level here. And if Nasdaq is dropping, I think this does not bode well for Bitcoin because there's a bit of a correlation there. In fact, I want to have a quick eye. Nicholas, can you keep an eye on Bitcoin
That
real
was a
quick?
quick
Just
70-point drop. Yeah, I'm watching it.
okay, cool. Just to make sure it's still in check. Yeah, Nasdaq is dropping. Oh, I disable these indicators. There we go. Yeah, let's see what's happening here. Uh, yeah, I'm getting into this volume node here. I'm not sure I want to short it at this point.
No way. But Bitcoin's kind of holding up though.
It's
Oh
holding.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're basically at your entry price, a little bit higher.
a bit higher. Yeah.
It's holding up well. A lot of support.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on this one. And what about our ZS? What's the trade? Is it? Ah, still holding
ZL.
at the same level. Yeah. All right, just gonna keep an eye on Bitcoin here. I mean, it's just such a small trade. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Nasdaq is losing steam. So I think Bitcoin might be caught into that if this happens.
Nasdaq might bounce though, because look, Bitcoin's holding up while Nasdaq drops. And what that tells me is if Nasdaq starts to hold up, Bitcoin's really going to fly up because I'm sure a lot of traders are thinking, "Oh, I'll short Bitcoin, Nasdaq's going to follow." They're all short. It's at a support level. If Nasdaq starts to recover, Bitcoin's probably going to short squeeze upwards pretty quickly because it's at a good point. It's at a tier two. It's at support. It's like at a
Yeah,
launch pad. If it does decide to go up, it's probably going to fly up pretty quick. But
yeah,
Nasdaq is now down 100 points from 15 minutes ago.
yeah. Nasdaq is dropping. I wonder if something is it 10:30? Oh, now the oil news are coming out, by the way.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
1 minute.
reminder, Nicholas.
Oh yeah.
But we don't have an oil trade open. Just going to keep an eye on it. What may happen here? Oil is still extended. We can see it here, but coming down to this level. So maybe ZL liquidity capture. Okay, another little alert here for ZL. And what time is it? 10:30 yet? No, it's 10:29.
I
Yeah, there we
covered
go.
my Bitcoin short. I shorted it again when it came up, but I'm not trusting it. It does look like it's holding up.
Oh, Paul, I think VIX hasn't jumped yet. Yeah, if the VIX goes up, let me see. Okay, so now the all news are coming in. By the way, not no reaction. Something takes a little while till these news solidify in the market, but yeah, nothing happening there. It's just a low impact event. All right. So you said you covered your Bitcoin short?
Yeah, I don't like how well it's holding up. I think it's kind of like a trap for shorts right now, especially if NASDAQ holds up. Because NASDAQ, let me just check it on the 15
It
minute.
definitely slowed down. And this is another
It's
look,
coming into an
guys.
important zone, NASDAQ.
That's right. It's coming to this important zone. Look how fast it
There's
went
buyers.
through this low volume node. Yeah, this is a typical pattern that we see over and over again. When there's low volume, price just oftentimes just flies through it. And these are tradable. Yeah, this is a bit not quite a narrow zone, but sometimes these low volume nodes, they're much bigger. And then you can bet, hey, once we enter this low volume zone, we're gonna fly through it.
We actually called that exactly 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago. We said if it loses 25,200, it's going to go to 25,100 probably extremely quickly because there's no volume there. People just
Yeah,
don't trade in that range. And oftentimes a good thing or the way we think about it is you can think about it psychologically is if we lose 25,200, there's not a lot of volume below us. What is everybody thinking? They're thinking
yeah,
25,000, the next round number. So nobody wants to buy it at 25,150 as it drops because they're thinking it's going to go to 25,000, you know.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, I don't see any levels from Liquidity IQ here, but this, if price were to stop, this is the level where I probably will stop
And
at
if
this
it
high
stops there because
volume.
there's buyer block, but look at the seller block beneath it. But there's high
Yeah,
volume. That's
that's fine.
something to be
I would imagine it definitely will slow down a little bit at this price level,
for sure.
just because it's contested. And but if I want to go short now, oh sorry, long at this level, probably not. Maybe a bit too risky. Let me go back to Bitcoin. Where are we here? It's
It's chilling
it's a
out.
bit in the yeah, it's chilling out. It's nothing dramatic. What happened to my
On the 1 minute,
ZL
I'm
trend?
looking
Oh
on
boy.
the what am I on? I'm on the 15. Oh, this is ZL. ZL is coming
So
down.
that's coming down a bit. It's
Liquidity capture.
we're still at this level. I mean, this is not the end of the world for sure. I'm a bit disappointed myself that I entered so far high up where this level was down. I'm not sure why this happened. Maybe I guess this block was really expanded at the time. But yeah, I still think we have a good chance of a bounce to the upside. All right. So that's that one. Go back to Bitcoin one more
Bitcoin
time.
really in on the 1 minute chart, if you take a look, it's that 108.3
Just
level.
gold.
That's really the line in the sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I mean,
108.4.
this area is so contested. If it breaks, I think that's gonna be very bad for Bitcoin if we have a big move downwards. So lots of action going on here, and I definitely could see price bouncing around this area for quite some time. And this is tradable too, yeah, because you can just play the sideways move, just a small little bounces. Take little tiny dollars off the market here and there. That can work too. Yeah,
Daniel, maybe you can talk about to answer Ann Coleman's question here. She said
yeah,
seller block because I mentioned seller blocks and buyer blocks. So maybe we can speak about
yeah,
what those are
yeah,
generally.
yeah. These are the ones. So here for Bitcoin, you see on the right-hand side of Volume IQ, you can see, first of all, these little bluish squares next to it, or reddish squares. So this basically is an indication, something that's like neutral, like no color at all.
Contested. Yeah.
These are indication of how much bias there, or if there's any bias towards buyers or sellers in this price level. So these are all price levels, like a small ranges. So if it's bluish, more buyers. If it's reddish, more sellers.
And it tends to mean that when price, and it's based on what the candles tend to do in that range. So right now we're in a seller block. We can see there. And what that tends to tell us is when price is in this area, the candles bias, not buyers, they bias towards going downwards. So oftentimes if you're dropping down, like on NASDAQ, we drop down into a buyer zone. We've dropped down into a bias block, a buy bias block, where candles start to go up. They just tend to be biased to the upside more. We'll see this in a second. If we can scroll out, well, we came down
Yeah,
to these two buyer levels there, and look what happened. Price started to just jump up a little bit because there seems to be historically upward candles once price gets into that area. And it's just like a general, it's just
yeah,
based on what the candles have done historically. It doesn't mean all that much. We can see down in the 25,000, 24,800 to 25,100. That's all seller block.
yeah,
And
yeah,
what that tends to tell us is when price gets in that range, historically, it hasn't spent a lot of time there, but we tend to see down candles, which isn't surprising because it's a highly contested level. It's 25,000 on the dot. When price comes down there, historically, people panic or the market panics and
Yeah.
tends to sell through there. But it doesn't mean it's going to sell through. It just means there's a chance it will. So you be wary around this range. There's a lot of volume there. No, it doesn't
Paula,
show up on the. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, Paula doesn't show up on the dashboard. This is something we may add in the future, the volume profile. It's just something which is not yet available, but it's on our list. Okay, so what's going on with Bitcoin? Let's go check back on my trade. Yeah, just chilling out. What about my other trade? ZL. Oh boy. It's not, I mean, it's no, it's valid. I mean, I just
Liquidity cap.
don't know what I was thinking to enter up there.
I thought,
Because
I think, I know, I just think maybe we went a little too quick because when you
yeah.
placed your order, I was surprised. I didn't say anything, but I was like, oh, you placed your limit order like right beside where price was. So it was almost like a market order.
Oh, maybe I made a mistake
You put it like right
because
there, and I was like, why did he even put a limit order at that
oh,
point?
okay,
Because
okay.
it
So
didn't make
that's
sense.
probably because I was talking and trading at the same time. No excuses, of course. Because I would I mean, you don't need to believe me, but if you look at my Discord trades I'm posting, it's always right where this level is. I get the best possible entry
You
price.
placed it above the zone. I remember, like it
Yeah,
was like above
okay,
it.
that
I
must have
think you
been a
just were
mistake.
distracted. Yeah.
Yeah, because I typically don't. I like to, first of all, like the market come to the level where I want to get filled, and I want to get filled at these key zones. I don't want to get filled in the middle. So where I get the best possible entry price for my trade to come to work out. This, of course, up here, I must have made a mistake. Was not the best possible price. So that's why I actually went to the replay mode just to see what was my thinking back then. Because that's an atypical trade for my style.
Bitcoin's going your way though. You know what might be a nice idea? So Bitcoin's
Yes.
holding up. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Maybe there's going to be, I think on the, we can check the 5 minute. Maybe there'll be a short break retrace opportunity here.
If it comes back up, yeah,
I mean, we're
definitely.
bearish. The tier two
Yeah.
is above. If we come
If
back
we
up into
come.
that zone, I think it's, even though it's dangerous, not a wise idea generally to short NASDAQ. But
Yeah. And
yeah,
then yeah, you can check it out. But price would need to come up a bit further. So we're definitely gonna keep an eye on this. But what's interesting is that look how price slowed down at this high volume node. It's just like magic sometimes. How well these indicators work. It doesn't mean that it's not going to continue going further down, but it definitely slowed down. This big candle here, it came to a stop. Price now is chilling out in this price level like magically because it's a highly contested area.
yeah, and we called that. As I've said already, I'm not going to repeat
Yeah,
myself, but once it breaks 25,200, it's probably going to go to 25,100 because that's the next spot where we often say it's like molasses. So when you see
yeah,
all that volume, when there's lots of volume, price decelerates. Movement is slow. When there's not a lot of volume, price accelerates.
yeah.
It's easy to move through there, cutting
Even
through butter.
With this Bitcoin thing here, I st it's also like molasses. Look how stuck prices are. Uh,
It's biased
yeah,
bearish though, because it's stuck, but it's beneath the stuck point.
yeah. It's we'll see. I may close it out if we come up a bit further, just to have a quick something on the books, just in case. I think this can be played multiple times because we're gonna. My feel is we're gonna be stuck in this area for quite some time, and waiting for all the way at the extremes to book your profits may keep you out of other trades. So I'd rather do rinse and repeat in the same trade. So if we come up a bit further, I'm gonna book my profits here. Maybe do the same thing again. I'm gonna come down here again, go along Bitcoin again. I've done this multiple times. Just do rinse and repeat. Rogers, yes, these indicators are for sale. Go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com, and the prices are being shown there. Mhm. And these are our flagship indicators. We trade with them every single day. Nicholas more so than me, because unfortunately I'm stuck and mostly running a business at the same time. But Nicholas is trading, I think, every day, huh? Is it every day? Pretty
Yeah,
much,
pretty
huh?
much, unless there's no
Yeah,
opportunities or
yeah,
I don't like the way the market looks.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Um,
always have our own money, so we are not doing much prop trading these days. Just it's just easier to have no restrictions with your account. If you do prop trading, there's so many restrictions of position sizing, how much you can scale in and so forth.
Close
Uh,
trades and stuff when you don't
yeah,
want to close
or
them. And
force close trades in the market session comes to an end. All these things you don't have, of course, if you trade with your regular account.
I wouldn't be surprised if NASDAQ goes to 24,950 within the next hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, because
Yeah.
it's not holding up too hard, too well, NASDAQ.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'm still hopeful for this trade to work out.
Yeah.
Uh, it is. Had I not had this entry, this could have been a nice little profit already. But we'll see what will happen there. Okay, so Bitcoin is coming. Oh, it's just chilling. It's just so stuck in this area, huh? Look at this. Uh, let's go back to the overview chart. What do we have? So Nasdaq, yeah, you said it's fighting at this level.
Yeah, and look, it's all sellers there. And where's the next almost tier two? It's right there down there at 24,950, where we
Yeah.
get that big high volume node. Um,
Yeah,
and
if
what
you
does it
lose
look like on
this
the daily
level
chart, Nasdaq? Sorry, what does it look like?
daily,
I don't recall.
I must be very bullish. A bit of a correction, level one pullback on
Oh,
trend radar. It's
look at
nothing.
that. Wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
we came back to 24,400 in soon. But
You think
who
so?
knows? It looks
Nah,
bullish as heck. So,
it is
you
very
know,
bullish. Yeah. Just like gold. I mean, gold has a bit of a pullback. It's just level two. It's nothing dramatic. I saw puts yesterday. They're in the minus now, obviously a bit, but yeah, I still think long term we're gonna come back up to similar
we haven't
price
had a
levels where we
retrace
were.
though. Could you scroll out a bit or zoom out so we can see what's happening on volume IQ, please? I
Yeah,
want to see on the right there. Oh, it's
yeah.
all
It's
buyers,
just
but it's not. Look at how high that volume node is,
it's
34,500. We haven't even
yeah.
had a zone break retrace yet. And that was the biggest, I think that's the biggest percent move gold has made in like 20
In a
years or
while.
something. Like in the last, since September, I think that's perhaps the largest percent move in 20 years or something like this, or
In
very,
20 years?
I checked it. It was something crazy like that. Very close, something like that. In that short span of time, that was an insane run up. So I would not be surprised if we came all the way
Oh,
back down to
the run up,
3,500.
you mean?
Since
Oh,
August, the end of
I
August,
got
that's the
it.
fastest move
Yeah.
gold has done in like almost history, I
I
believe, or
thought you meant this bond
in my
yesterday was the
life.
biggest drop. I know, okay, this run, yes, that's an insane run in gold, especially for something which is not really so volatile typically. That's a pretty parabolic move to the upside, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and we do have, I don't think I didn't post on Discord today, but I'm putting the link in the chat, tradingindicators.com/Discord. It's a free Discord, and we tend to post trades every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So this one is also still chilling out. All right. Okay, I guess it's a bit of a waiting game. I want to see something. What's going on
Glad
with
it's
the
useful for you,
actual
Paula.
gold? I mean, gold is testing this. Yeah, if you lose 4,000 gold, that's something I'm going to be looking for. This below 4,000, I think we're going to see an acceleration to the downside. This
It's
is a
so
key.
volatile, gold. It's not cheap right now to trade it, Like if you get in a trade, the least you can expect to lose is like 400, 500 US because even on a
Yeah,
micro contract that has 50 points up and down
yeah,
for any realistic stop loss.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is gold MGC. Yeah, and see they have this big level, the 4,000 level, this line in this. Let me just draw this into this is a trend line if I can, horizontal line,
Nasdaq
just
at the low of day.
to show you where it is there. Put exactly where it is. Coordinates
Oh yeah,
4,000.
Nasdaq is dropping hard. It's
That's the 4,000 level I'm watching. If we lose this level, I think we're gonna see a big acceleration to the downside in gold. It's the 4,000 line, big psychological level. All right. Nasdaq is losing it, you say? Oof.
it's trying to hold on, but it's on its last legs. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 24, like I was saying, 24,960 within an hour and 20 minutes.
Down
We'll
here,
see.
huh? If you go below this level, maybe a little short
I wouldn't be
to
surprised.
in
Yeah, I
this.
wouldn't short it now. That's for sure. I would have shorted it at the zone break. Wouldn't touch it now with a 10-foot pole, but maybe we'll go to 24,950 or something, 24,900. Who knows
Yeah,
though? It's very bullish.
what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's just chilling, stuck in this area.
That's why if
No,
Nasdaq recovers, Bitcoin's going to fly upwards.
yeah. All right, and here, yeah, chilling. We had another liquidity capture right here at this level of ZS. You know, ZS is oh ZL. Sorry, ZL is soybeans oil futures. And a fun thing about this contract is it has very strange trading times. If you look at the trading sessions here, when the market is open, it will stay open till 2:20 Eastern time, which is 1:20 Chicago time. So that's where this contract is being traded. And then it closes for like 4 or 5 hours and it will reopen at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Chicago time, and stay open all night for some reason. Then it closes again. It's not even shown here at 8:30 a.m. in the morning until 9:30. Very bizarre. Not sure why that is. It's very strange trading times. Something I didn't know. And I got caught a few times with these odd trading hours, especially the one in the morning where market just stops at 8:30 a.m. for some strange reason. Yeah. All right. Okay. Back to Bitcoin. Yep, just chilling.
Chilling. Nasdaq is now
Unchanged.
more low of day. Oh,
Yeah.
it's bouncing a little bit. What else is there? Let's check out what's
Let's
happening. Okay, gold might
I
be
want to look at
setting a higher
silver.
low.
Yeah, let's look at
What
silver.
about
That's something I
what
wanted
about
to look at.
oil? Oil's boring right now.
Yeah. What is the daily time frame? Let's look at silver. Silver could be something of interest. All right. It's rangy. It's definitely rangy down. Bearish trend here coming down. Yeah. Uh, Also not something I want to trade right now. It's just so it's close to this support level. If you're short here, it's not much to be
It's
gained.
like gold.
Yeah, it's correlated. Absolutely. What
That
else do
does
we
look,
have?
yeah, it looks like it's gonna range all day, kind of.
Let's look at some currency futures. What about
What about
euro futures?
M6E? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
euro
Bitcoin's
futures.
dropping. There we go. Oh
What?
no, it just wow. Oh, it's volatility's picking up. What is it? It's 1046.
It's
I'm
nothing.
looking
It's
at a
chilling.
1 minute chart, so I'm seeing
Oh,
it a
okay.
little bit.
Oh, it's just chilling. Yeah. You always panicked me there.
No, it dropped like $300 and then it jumped up $300 within a second.
I guess it must have been. Really?
Yeah, look, it's bouncing between 107 800 and 108 100 like every second. It is recovering right now though.
It is bound. Yeah, whatever. But it's such a small contract. So even these big bounces, that's not much. We're just hovering over our entry price here, left
And
and right.
for anyone to know, if you trade one contract of micro Bitcoin, basically the easiest way to think about it, one contract on micro Bitcoin, every $1,000 Bitcoin moves, it's you lose or gain $100.
Hmm.
So it's a very easy contract to plan reward to risk on.
Yeah, exactly. What I do with trading view, for example, if I just let trading view do my math, if you go to your trade panel here, just for the fun of it, let's say our entry was for some obscure reason up here, and this is your limit entry, and you just play around if you take profits and so forth. It shows you directly here how much you gain to win if you hit the profit, or this profit how much you would lose, and you can actually see it directly in here in your account currency. That's pretty cool. Um, and sometimes, for some contracts, you'd be surprised how expensive they are. For example, Palladium, this one here, it's a crazy expensive contract. If you ever try to trade this, and this is why you have to do this in math, well, you have to definitely see what actually the price levels are.
Whoa,
So I'm just going a little bit down in thousands.
Jesus.
So just planning this out is important so that you don't take too much risk, which you
There's no
don't want
micro
to take.
palladium, eh? Platinum. There's no micro
There,
platinum.
there might be, but it's very illiquid if there is. Yeah, that's is like the bars are super choppy.
Wow.
So yeah. All right. Okay.
Bitcoin, Nasdaq is hanging out
So,
at the low of day. What else is
uh,
there? Well, we
let's go
checked out
like,
at M6E, right? We checked that out.
yeah, we did. There was nothing to be seen. Canadian dollar, nothing. What about British pounds? Have a look. A little zone break retrace here. If I see this correctly. Yeah, look at this. That could be a good one. Look,
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe
A,
a little.
a
Hopefully you
s- a
didn't
s-
miss it. Let's take a little. So here, I would, of course, wait till the price potentially come up. Then a little, you know, short trade when we come back up here and you profit maybe down the levels here. That could be an interesting trade. We are bearish and we rush. We just broke support. Nice follow through after the zone break. And then the retracement back to the broken support level, which at this point would act as resistance. So if we come back up here, maybe an interesting short
for
opportunity.
sure. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
unable. Oh, we don't have
it's
the
a,
margin.
it's the it's for some obscure reason
What about
interactive
M6B?
brokers.
M6B.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Let me
saying like the
just
micro version of this contract. Can we trade that?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
M6B. Does that exist?
6B. Yeah, actually, do we do? Good call. It's a bit illiquid, but it's the same setup. Yeah. Yeah, good call. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I probably have to fund my account. This is our player account that we're using to do these live trading workshops. It's real money. Where is it? But of course, this, talking and trading at the same time, oh, this is so small, is oftentimes not the best idea because at least I do, sometimes are forced to take trades. Can we do it?
If you've
Oh,
got a small account,
Jesus, come
and
on.
you don't want to trade expensive contracts, there's a lot of contracts that are really easy to trade small. So one of them is like M6E, micro euro USD.
Yeah.
That's super cheap. You can scale in. You can take trades where the max, even though you have a reasonable stop loss, your max loss might be 25 US. On the Dow too, like if you don't, if I want to play the indices, but I don't feel like risking a bunch on Nasdaq, I'll trade the Dow instead because it's a much cheaper contract.
Yeah. I'm just gonna close out this Bitcoin trade. If we hit it, it's just I just think it's gonna be so rangy for a while. That I don't want. Also, I don't want to. I want to have my margin back. I think there's lots of margin on these Bitcoin contracts. It's so volatile.
But Nasdaq is recovering off of a high volume node. Maybe it's the time to hold on to Bitcoin and let it become the winner of the day if we do recover all the way to that broken zone. Because if
All right,
we
now we're
recover to
gonna.
that broken zone, Bitcoin's
All
probably
right.
going to go up 1,000
Oh.
points or something.
We're gonna cut. We did get. I was too. It doesn't matter. We have
Oh,
one quick win. It's okay. I like to at least have one win or two. But you're probably right, Nicholas. But this is once again the pressures of having a live trading workshop. Uh, yeah,
it's
we'll
rising.
see.
No,
I
yeah.
still think it's gonna be rangy here for a while. So let me just quickly look at my ZL contract. This one is just chilling down here. Okay. Okay. But still, I still like it. I mean, yes, you said, Nicholas, you were even thinking of scaling in a second time here at the proper price level,
Not
using
here,
dollar
that's for
cost.
sure. I'd wait
Not
until we
here?
go lower. Because
Even
usually,
lower.
yeah, I would
Oh,
scale in. Because look, we're only at the top of that support zone. It can still easily drop to 50, 28, 50, 32, and still be in a reasonable spot. So if I was going to scale
yeah,
in, I would scale in all the way down to like 50, 30 or 50, 28 or something. I wouldn't scale in now because then we're just going to be stuck in the game if it goes a little bit lower.
yeah.
Definitely wouldn't scale in now.
All right. Okay, so let's look at the Bitcoin. It's all right. Honestly, I still think it's going to be bouncy here, but you're right, Nicholas. Maybe if Nasdaq comes up, who knows? All right, perfect. So what I want to do now, actually, I want to quickly look at 6M6B, and then I want to do something a bit different. Okay, this one got the fill here. That's nice. Then I want to do something where we do signal first and then look at levels. What do I mean by this? This is something which works really well if you, for example, want to trade more frequently, more aggressively. Maybe you want to have a session where you just want to trade a lot in a very short period of time, instead of just playing the waiting game. So what we do mostly, we wait until setups and until they roll in, then we execute. But this could take a couple of hours. But if you really want to trade a lot, what you can do, I'm going to use something which is pretty trending right now, like oil, because there it tends to be a bit easier if something is if there's a clear direction. So oil, MCL, there we go. And what I'm going to do is I will change to the, let's say, the 1 minute time frame, just go completely extreme. All right. And now I'm going to look at my signals first. Okay, we're on a long break scenario. I still have my levels here. Let me actually go down a little bit closer here to, let's say, the 50-minute time frame on Liquidity IQ. And I'm going to switch on Divergence Cloud. So we can see here, for example, we just booked profits on oil. So Divergence, I had a nice signal here. We just had our exit here. And the indicator is configured so that it will just have one partial exit. So we get the signals quite a bit. And we can see every couple of minutes something will roll in. And I'm just going to wait on a couple of symbols here until we get a signal and then execute on that one. If I like what I see in terms of my statistics. So here we can see for the long direction, for example, profit factor 4 point, where is it? Oh, 130. Oh, I was wondering, oh, wow. I guess all
Wow.
winners on the long
Holy
direction.
God.
That's a crazy big profit factor.
92. Jeez.
Yeah, I was wondering, where's the profit factor for the longs? It's 130. That's crazy. For all, so I guess for 13 long trades, I think we may have had one loser. Yeah, 92%, and the rest were all winners and all the long signals in oil. But also for shorts, not too shabby. But let's see what's happening here. If we get a signal on oil, I'm gonna
Yeah, I'd wait maybe like yeah, limit once we come down to that high volume chunk
yeah,
near
yeah.
the
But I'm gonna
tier
wait
two.
until a signal rolls, and so I'm gonna look at gold tier 2. Here we just had a signal. Too bad I missed that one. So I'm going to try to find a symbol where we had a signal recently and the price move didn't happen yet. That's what I want to try to find. I'm going to go to NASDAQ. No signal right now. Okay. Sometimes you have to just
What we
be
were
a bit
talking about
patient.
before might happen, the zone break retrace on NASDAQ.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna try to find something with a signal right now. Just give me a second. It's a bit of a, here we just closed it out. Beautiful, nice short here on DAX. German DAX. Okay, nothing here. Silver. We just had a nice short here, which is a bit too late in the game. Here, nothing. Sorry, I'm jumping around, just trying to find something with a signal right now. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too I was gonna wait on oil or gold. Keep one of these two contracts.
So many things are in the middle of a move already. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's the, and of course you can set alerts. So what we could do is I can define alerts for when these signals come along. That's definitely possible. You can go to your alert conditions here. You pick up Divergence Cloud, for example, and you can pick your entries here. Alert me when a long entry signal comes along. So I'm just gonna do this for oil. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing for. Oh, if we lose this level, guys, this is a really key level here. I think we're gonna see a big follow through. 6.94 for short entry signals profit factor. And even with this big drop in gold, this is a 1 minute chart, so you're not looking back super far. There was still some moves in there, but you could have benefited. And look at this. Even this big drop, sitting high, where we really dropped hard, there are a couple of long trades here which worked out beautifully. Yeah.
Bitcoin is flying up. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's
Oh,
recovering to tier
is it
two.
really flying up?
Well, it's up 500 points from where we were talking.
Oh my God.
But
Oh,
because
what do we have
Nasdaq's
here?
recovering,
We have an entry signal on Bitcoin. Look at this. Oh, it's just a bit too far away. I didn't see it.
it's that tier
Oh,
two. That's the big line in the sand.
yeah.
108,300. Yeah, it does look like it might hold up here and push through.
Oh boy.
Nasdaq is
Oh.
going up.
I should
We'll
have
see
listened
though.
to you, Niklas, huh? To
Yeah.
hold on to it. Yeah. But you're not sitting here trading, so it's okay. I'm a modest guy. It's fine. Funny. Okay, here we're just chilling out. Uh, I still think it's gonna recover on this one here. MCL. So I'll try to find something where, yeah. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this. I think we're gonna get an entry signal on, probably on. In fact, what I'm gonna do, let me also put. Oh, Nasdaq is recovered, huh? That's what he was saying. Yeah. And you're thinking zone break retrace. Okay, I see what you're saying
Yeah,
now.
and we were saying like because Bitcoin they tends to follow Nasdaq, but when Nasdaq was
Yeah,
dropping, Bitcoin wasn't falling for it. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
coming up, but we'll see what Nasdaq does here. It looks like it's probably going to go all the way back to 25,200 real soon.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Wow, what a recovery, huh? Off this level. But of course, this is now the actually let me take out my signal indicator here for a second. It's back on the 15-minute time frame. Put this on the 30, the way it was. Yeah. Just gets, yeah, it stopped directly at this high volume node, huh? Which, as
Mhm.
mentioned before, these ones oftentimes act as support if price approaches it from the upside.
If we check Bitcoin on the 5 minute, MBT on the 5, and we have liquidity IQ on the chart time frame. If
Oh,
we
look
put
at
it
this
on the
beautiful
we put it
bounce.
on the chart time frame, if you could.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Uh,
one? The 5 minute, you say?
yeah, and then you put liquidity IQ on the charts.
Yeah, let's look quick on the.
I mean, it's super tight range here. It obviously looks like it's going to bounce, but on the 5 minute,
I mean,
we have a
it
liquidity
it
capture at a little resistance level.
it is a tight range, and I remember where we had our profit target originally for Bitcoin before I prematurely closed. It was right around this level here, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, at this pivot high, that's probably where we put it, or about just below it. And it's not impossible that Bitcoin will bounce off once again to the short side. Well, we are nonetheless bearish in Bitcoin. This could just be a retracement with, yeah, within that bearish trend back to the zone here. But I'm not going to short it. I think for this Bitcoin, it's just too bullish overall. And this is just it's a parabolic move to the upside.
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah,
right now.
it's really going up here, Bitcoin. It's testing that resistance. It's almost at, well, it's testing the highest it has been since yesterday's reopen at the close or at the open at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
which is 109,200. If it breaks above that, we'll see.
Yeah. But it's, yeah, absolutely.
Depends on what NASDAQ does as well.
Let's quickly have a quick look. What is divergence cloud telling us here? Now it's short still. Yeah, but you look how it reacts to this level. It's so funny. Oh,
Everything's pointing bullish right now, except Russia's still showing bearish, but it has made higher lows. If we look like where you bought originally, if we look
yeah.
at your buy signal,
I
that was a higher low. That was the
I
third
buy
higher
it
low.
again here. If we come down here, I'm definitely gonna buy Bitcoin again. I think it's gonna be rangy for a while. I'm just gonna play these ranges, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Okay, what is oil doing? Well, I like kind of oil for a long trade. We're bullish here. You can see it here. We just came down a little bit. This is the 5 minute time. Let me go to the 15 minute here. Just came down a little bit. If we were thinking that oil might look right at this high volume node here, if we get to this level, maybe a long trade, a feel long trade here could be something. What do you think, Nicholas? Well, definitely bullish. This to me is just a bit of a retracement within that
Sorry, I
bullish
keep
move.
getting muted. Yeah, definitely 100%, and it's easy reward to risk off that resistance level that was
We have
broken.
we
Paula
have
wants to
two.
know, could NASDAQ just be pulling back briefly before resuming back down? Yeah, that's
Oh
what we were
yeah,
thinking before.
yeah,
That it's gonna short break
absolutely.
retrace, but of course it's super bullish, so it's not the cheapest contract, so be aware of shorting it. Could be risky.
Yeah.
NASDAQ's almost back at 25,200 now. It's at 25,190.
Ah, for the maybe a zone break
Bitcoin high
retrace
of
could.
day.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Oh boy, look at this, huh? What a big move. Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is zone break retrace classic. Huh? Zone break here, we broke below this support level, came down, now all the way back up, and we're bearish. And yeah, this is I mean, potentially
It's
shortable.
really volatile though recently, like because
Yeah,
everybody's probably thinking what we're thinking here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they fling it all the way back to 25, 240 or 250 if before resuming it. So if I short
yeah,
it here, I would have a very wide stop.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
Might go all the way to
shorting
that tier
against
two.
such a
I wouldn't
big
be surprised. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's see what happens. If you see some signs that hey, we're gonna lose this level again, maybe then we're gonna short it, but here we're gonna wait for confirmation. Let's see if we have anything of or signals now. That was the nice signal here for divergence cloud right at this beginning of this move down, which was nice. Okay. What else do we have? Let me look. Oh, don't we have a trade open at M6B? I forgot about that
Don't we
one.
have a trade open on ZL?
Uh, yeah, this one is just
Don't you have one on ZL as well?
yeah, ZL. Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, okay, just chilling.
Where are we at? Oh, okay, good. It's coming up a
69,
little bit.
yeah. Coming up a bit. Yeah,
NASDAQ dropping a bit. Trying to
this
keep a
is
close eye on it
great.
because I'm actually short Bitcoin at this resistance.
You're shorting
I
Bitcoin?
shorted it at 109. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I
But
don't have high
honestly, this is
hopes.
this is shortable because if you go to the 5 minute, I saw a liquidity capture at this resistance level for sure, and we are bearish. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is a big move down, and I think Bitcoin is going to be consolidating for a while after this crazy volatility, probably at this key pivotal level. It's very contested. And we looked at it at the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Look at this price level where we at right now.
It's a huge range. That's the problem. But yeah,
Yeah,
see.
it is. But also here. Look carefully. This is a level where a resistance of this little bluish box is hard to see because it overlaps, and a support level coincides. It is super contested and congested here. But of course, from a day trading point of view, these are massive moves. $5,000, 5,000 points in Bitcoin. So it's but I would not be surprised if prices get stuck in here for quite some time in these levels. Absolutely. All right. Okay. Are there any symbol requests, guys, for everyone out there? Okay.
NASDAQ is, NASDAQ, I've been trying to short NASDAQ the past 2 weeks or so. Gotten some good shorts on it, but they really are whipsawing it big time. So it plays into, I think, Paula's question from before. The
Yeah.
answer is expect the unexpected and use a wide stop loss because they're not making it easy to trade. There's a lot of volatility in
Yeah.
the market. Everything's hitting new highs. They're not going to make it easy for you to get in at a good price in either direction. They're going to make
Yeah.
it do things that seem unpredictable or unlikely.
Agreed. And if things, to me, it's just very easy. If things are not clear, if things are whipsawing and the levels are not holding as I thought they should be, I just don't trade. If the market story is not clear to me what's going on, I just stay on the sidelines. No
Daniel,
point.
are your indicators in wealth chart?
Uh, so in wealth charts, we have some of the indicators. So we have, let me just show you what we have in wealth charts. We have our trend radar indicator, which is this one down here. It shows us these nice pullbacks, for example, in strong trends. This one we have in wealth charts. And we also have our power bundle indicators in there, which are, just go, which chart do we had open? Which are these ones here? So 1, 2, 3 strike we have, divergence cloud we have, and volatility crusher as well. So these ones we have, but in a slightly less powerful version because Wolf chart has technical limitations. So for example, auto optimization is not available in wealth charts. And also our, statistics are a bit less expressive in wealth charts. But yeah, in general, they are there. Absolutely. Perfect. Okay. So, what did we have? Let's look at M6B.
Paula says, yeah, you're right. The stop loss is key. It's a mindset I'm working on cementing, especially during this volatile time. Yeah, and that's why, like, lately I'm not trading the more expensive contracts because everything's so volatile. It's a lot easier to trade something you can scale into that's cheaper.
Yeah.
Wide stop.
And actually trading small is probably the number one lesson that everybody should take. Because if you trade too big, you will naturally make emotional decision because, oh my God, I'm so much in the hole, or oh my God, I'm so much up, and you don't follow your trade plan anymore as you should. So by trading small, you won't get into this emotional hole. So absolutely, it's very important. Yeah. Can you talk about your 1 to 3 strike and divergence cloud? Which would you use in which conditions for intraday trading? Yeah, I would use them all the time. I just have to be a bit patient. So for example, for oil here, oh no, we didn't get our entry. For oil, I would totally wait until I get a new signal, a long signal in this case. Great long profit. Well, maybe not so long, but good profit factor to the long side, but also to the short side. And oh, this is the 50-minute type. Okay, hang on. I would go to the 1 minute. Potentially, there we go. And yeah, great long profit factor. This is what I was seeing. So I would just wait until the signal comes along. I set my alerts. I would trade accordingly. And the way I configured this indicator is as following for day trading. I would do it like this. I go to my settings here. And so this is actually what I'm going to do. Let me go to the default settings first. Then I show you how I change it. So reset settings to the defaults. There we go. So now we have once this loads, is it done? 1 second. Yeah. So these are the default settings. You can see the indicator is configured for partial exits by default. So here we have a short. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 partial exit, and we're flat. The trading stops printing here. For example, you can see this here long 1, 2, 3, 4 partial exit. We're flat. Another long signal here. We're long. Then we close out the position when a signal in the opposite direction comes along. So long here. Went up a little bit, but then we closed it up when the short signal came along. This one is then replaced by this long and so forth. So this is the default settings. But what I like to do so that I get a bit more entry signals, I configure the indicator with just one partial exit. What I do is I use these boxes here, long partial exits, I set them to 1, and also short partial exit, I set it to 1. Once I do this, oh, we just had one here. Perfect. Great. So we just had a long entry, and it's going to follow on this one. So here I'm going to try to enter into this trade. I'm just going to stay in this trade now until we're off it. Let's
The
by limit
stop's a
order.
little lower there on the indicator, at least.
It's here. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Are
Nice
we in?
cheap
Did we get
trade.
filled? No.
No,
What happened there? Did
it
we
just
get
didn't come
some?
down.
Oh,
No,
the
no.
alert. Okay, let me just force this trade. Doesn't matter. So we're in this trade now. At the current price level, I'm just gonna stay in this trade until we get an exit signal or a signal in the opposite direction. But what you also need to do is you need to lock in your settings. So this is actually a bit of a trick that you need to do because this indicator optimizes all the time. It will re-optimize with every new bar. And as a result of this entry signal may go away. You don't want this. You want to have this entry signal still be here so you can see where the stop is and you can see when the exit comes. So what you can do is you go to the settings here of the indicator. We should probably expand on this a little bit in our lunch and learn session. And in the show panel, go to show best settings. You enable this. So once you do this, you actually see now on the panel here, what are the best settings that were used to get the signal? 10, 8, 240 for these parameters. ATR period 10, divergence lookback 8, min price move 240. So you remember these, 10, 8, 240. You go back to the settings to lock it in. So you go down here, 10, just copy it in. 8 for divergence look back and 240 for the min price move. And then you say, okay, switch off auto optimization. Meaning from now on, we will use these settings for the indicator. So I'm going to click OK. And from this point on, the indicator will not re-optimize. It will simply keep these settings. Okay. And that way you can be assured that this setting will always stay here and you will get the proper exit. This is important because when you're in a trade, you want to see when the indicator actually shows you an exit. I hope that was not too complicated, but that's the idea here. So let's see if this one pans out. We'll stay in this trade. Our trading stop is right here. Okay, and let's see what happens. Oh, that's how I would trade, and it's so much fun actually. And of course, one thing I do in addition to this is I look at my levels. So what is Liquidity IQ doing? Okay, let's check it out. I can see, okay, we have blue skies ahead basically. Our no support, no resistance level on top. There was a resistance levels down here, but that's further down.
It's worth the
can
try.
also-
I mean, look how low this risk is. I think it's like what, $34 US,
Oh yeah, and it's so much.
$28 US risk.
And we have a great profit factor of our last how many trades that we have? 13 long
One
trades,
loss.
12 were winners, one loss. So this is honed in. This is a good setting. So yeah, I love to trade like this, and it's super exciting. And yeah, that we get settings a lot. It's great for scalping. It's just something where you need to be more active in front of the screen. So I really enjoy it, but I just oftentimes don't have the time to do it actively because it distracts me from my regular day job. So typically what I do is just have my alerts here for when price comes to a key level, then I execute based on that instead of just looking at these signals. But that's a completely valid approach. So let's see what happens. Yeah. All right.
Okay, NASDAQ coming down. Bounced off. It's down 50 points from when we last looked at it.
Oh, is it?
Bitcoin
Okay.
kind of coming off of that resistance level. I'm still hopeful for my short trade there. It's coming down a bit. Following.
Oh yeah.
Here
That could have
bounced.
been a nice
It's a nice
Zobrick
partial exit.
retraced. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but we played it smooth because I mean, look, that was a great one, but there was nothing telling us it was for sure going to do this. So
Yeah.
very
Funny.
nice
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Look at that pivot from 9:30.
Beautiful.
Right there off
930.
those old pivots from the morning. 9:30 back right
Oh, this
down
is the
there. That
1 minute
pivot
chart.
low.
Yeah,
That pivot
here.
low. That's where it
Yeah.
bounced off pretty much.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
still might go
Right
back
here.
up. I mean, we have the
Kind
whole
of.
day ahead of us.
Yeah. Let me go back to my regular time frame here. Okay. Yeah. Zobrick retrace. Yeah, Paula, you called it. Yeah, that was your. Paula's asking, after you lock in the settings, when you turn off auto optimize, does the virtual AI dialog box lock as well, or does it keep? No, that's the whole point. It keeps the locked settings, and I will stay in these. Let me go back to oil real quick. Of course, now we're going down a little bit. That's fine. So back to the 1 minute, back to divergence cloud. So I lock these settings, and I will stay in these.
It went short.
Oh no!
That's
So I
something
should.
we didn't think about. But
So now I should. So now we actually went short here. So I will be closing out the trade now. So if you want to follow the trade plan, you close it out at this short signal here
I'd close
with
it out.
divergence
Yeah.
cloud, and then you would simply go short. I don't want to close, but of course then this is where
I
your
would
discretion
close it
comes
out. I
in.
mean, if you look at the 5 minute, it didn't work out here. On the 5 minute,
Yeah,
we're easily going back down to that
yeah,
resistance zone. It didn't
yeah,
happen.
and you want to follow your trade plan. So it's a short signal. Now you should shorting it at this point. What I would do first, I would turn back on auto optimization. It's a bit tedious on TradingView. On NinjaTrader and on Wave, that's all automatically done for you. We have a setting in there, Niklas, right? Only re-optimize them more flat, right?
Yeah.
believe
So it'll
that's
stay in a trade. Then the second the trade technically closes, it'll re-optimize to see what's the new best settings after the one
yeah,
closes.
exactly. Okay. Well, anyways, you saw how this can work. Unfortunately, here we had immediately a short signal afterwards. That's fine. These are really small scalping trades.
We could see
Which
now, look at the statistics. Now we're at 85.71 because now we have 14 trades, but 2 losers.
Yeah. that's right. The stats went down for this long trade. Yeah, this was a loser, a very small one. No harm, no foul. But yeah, now you would execute this short trade.
Daniel, how are our open trades doing?
I hope they're doing good.
6B, M6B, and
M6B.
ZL.
All right, I was chilling here. M6B. Is this the right one? Yeah,
What
that's
about ZL?
yeah, Odyssey. Let me go back to my normal time frame just to have a better picture of what's going on. Hide this. Just go back to my normal settings here.
Oh, it's still the perfect trade we were thinking of.
Yeah,
And
it's good. Wicked
good,
into
good
this is
stuff.
zone break retrace in progress here. Zone break
I'm
retrace
actually
back to
going
the
to take
broken
that trade
level.
on my end right now.
You're going short now?
Yeah, I'm just going to short one contract just in case. Just in case.
Okay, just in case I don't get them all wrong. And ZL, yeah, it's just chilling here. It's still it's a good setup. I still am disappointed in myself that I ended all the way up here. That must have been a mistake. Yeah, because if you entered where I would normally enter, this is not would have been the perfect way to get in, and then even book your profits around this level here. That would have been my approach. I'm not sure what I was thinking.
Hanny says, I
And
don't see the ATR number on my table as I see it on your chart. Not sure what you're talking about there, Hanny. We don't have an
oh
ATR anywheres, but maybe you're talking about the Divergence Cloud settings where there's an ATR.
yeah,
If
I think
so,
that's
you're
what
on
he's.
wealth charts, so it might be different.
Oh, if you're on wealth chart,
I
it's
think
different.
Hanny's on wealth chart. Yeah.
If you're on trading, we just real quick what I did beforehand to see this number here, the ATR number. What you would need to do is to go all the way down your settings for the settings about the panel where it says show best settings. So by default, this is disabled like this. So you don't see them because we don't want to clutter the chart too much, but you can enable it like this. Then you see the ATR period here, divergence look back and min price move, for example. Cool. Alrighty, what time do we have? 11:17. Okay, let's do a quick overview of what's going on right now. So this trade
Look
here,
at Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
yeah. It came down again. Okay, yeah. I It came down because this. I think we're gonna stay here for a while. I'm gonna go long again. This if we go. Did you take a short trade here, Nicholas? You did,
I
huh?
shorted at 109. Yeah, it's going well.
Nice. Congratulations. So I'm gonna hide this back to our other indicators. Yeah, honestly, coming down back here again, another long trade could not be the worst idea for Bitcoin because this level is key. I think it's we're gonna be rangy for a while. Actually, you know what? Let me put this trade in here real quick while we're here. Potentially a good entry just here. If you get stopped out, no big deal. Another little move up. Anticipating, hey, we're gonna be rangy for a while in this price area, a very contested price area. All right. Yeah, here
Are
we'll
the
start.
trade prices land stops loading auto, or are you putting them in fast? I don't trade in Trading View. Daniel uses the built-in stop and target placement feature in Trading View, which tells you about
Yeah.
the prices and how much you would
It's
gain or lose. It's really it's probably the best platform for that.
yeah,
And doesn't use
it's
Trading View, but we do suggest using it. It's good.
well, if you use a Ninja Trader, for example, it has similar features where you can see it. But yeah, what I do is let's say I want to hypothetically go short here, Nasdaq. I select my trade direction in Trading View. Then it will pop up this little widget on the chart. And of course, here you have your position size. And then what you can do is you can drag the stop loss party to wherever your stop loss wants to be, and it shows you directly what does this result to in dollars. And you also place your profit target. You see this, what is this resulting in dollars for my position size? So 3 contracts here. And of course, if I change my contract size, something less, we'll adjust it automatically. And then you can just press sell and you would enter the trade. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's slick. All right, good. All right. Just quickly have a look here. Oh, there we go. Oh, that is
Nice. Too bad you didn't scale in again, but still, wouldn't have
it's
been
all right.
wise.
Yeah. But yeah, this is exactly the balance I was hoping for. And in fact, I'm actually I might just close it out here when it comes to this level. This is a tier 2 nonetheless. Uh if we get a bit of a profit here from this trade, I think I'm just gonna close it out. And yeah,
There's
no
oil
harm, no
dropping.
foul.
Oil's drop. You just got an alert crossing
Oh
58.39.
yeah, now it's at that level, huh? Good thing I closed that all trade when divergence. I should have thought that divergence called short signal, I guess, on this one. But I'm not going to act on it now. Which trade did we? Oh, we had Bitcoin. This was our one open
And
trade.
two,
See
yeah,
if we
I'm
get.
still in this. I'd be weary about a long on this, but you're right. It's probably going to range
It's
and
gonna
bounce.
range.
But
Yeah,
on the 1 minute or the 15 minute, it's got a high volume node. It's losing.
yeah,
Um, NASDAQ is down 25,100, but there's still a really high volume node at 2550. Looks like everything's going to range around these levels for a bit.
yeah. What's interesting is that MES compared to the absolute numbers here. Well, Nasdaq is down 0.7%. The technology companies but the S&P 500 is only 0.3% down.
If you're going to
Um,
short something, ES would be the good one to short because look, it's got it tends to follow NQ and we're in a
that's
zone
right.
right
And
now.
we're in
So
the
it
zone.
wouldn't be the
Yeah,
worst short idea even here, but you need a
yeah,
wide stop.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, that's definitely interesting. Cool. All right, guys. So, do we have any symbol requests right now before we close out this workshop? Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, still chilling. And we bounced off this tier 2 level here. That was my fear. That's
Could
gonna
you zoom
happen.
out to the 30-minute on this one, Daniel, please? The 30
Yeah,
minute chart.
yeah,
Just curious what it looks and also like scroll out a little bit, please, so we could
yeah.
just
Oh,
see
okay.
zoomed out horizontally.
Yeah, it's
All
just at
right.
this key level here. This is a
It's bearish.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I mean
I
the
would do what you're
trade
doing.
was
Yeah.
down here and I closed it at this level. That would have been the trade,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which I
Definitely.
messed up. That's okay. It happens. I mean, it's whatever. It's $39. No big deal. But of course, would have been nice to have a winner here. All right, guys. Perfect. I think this ends our live trading workshop. It's been really fun. I really enjoy having these workshops. We're almost 2 hours in. Let's see how the markets play out. And we're going to send some updates on Discord about some of the trades that we had here. Hopefully, some more winners. Let's see if we get a fill in Bitcoin. One quick look here. It's coming. It's coming down. We'll see. And with this, guys, I wish you all a great day. Let me just quickly go back to my slides real quick. And if you have any questions, please go to our homepage, tradingindicators.com, go to support and click on contact in there and put your question into the contact form, and I will answer every question personally that will get to us. So if you have any questions about our products or whatever it might be, please don't be shy. The more the merrier. All right, guys. With this, I see you all. When's our next event, Nicholas? Oh, on the weekend, on
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, for our next live scanning session where it comes we're going to talk about swing trading and the most interesting swing trading setup for the week and weeks ahead. All right, guys. With this, have a great late morning here on the East Coast, or a great night if you're in Australia or Malaysia, or a great breakfast time and if you're in LA. See you guys. Bye bye. Thank you.